In the morning, we reached to the IoT stack, right? So IoT stack is nothing but the layer architecture of IoT system, right? So as we compare with the OSI model, right? Then this IoT also have 7 layer, right? So starting from the bottom, it has physical or sensor layer, right? Next one is the processing and control action layer, and third is the hardware interface layer. Then next is the fourth one is the RF layer. The fifth one is the station or message layer. Sixth one is the user experience layer, and the last one is the 7, that is application, right? So here application, station, physical, these are almost the name are similar to the OSI model. So let's see one by one. So if we'll talk about the physical or sensor layer, right? So we know, like in IoT application, in IoT network, the first thing we need to collect the data, right? So that data collection is always done by the sensors. So that's why its name they have given the sensor layer, right? So this layer is concerned about the physical component, which is mainly include the sensor, right? Uh, in this layer, the sensor are, we can say, like core component, right? uh, and the temperature sensor, pressure sensor, humidity sensor, etc. are uh, the example of the sensor and can be referred as a physical layer component. Uh, in industrial automation, like PLC, then some kind of motor driver like servo motor driver or stepper motor driver, right? Different types of motors, right? All are considered as a physical layer component, right? So you can consider the actuators like motors, all types of motors, like servo, stepper, or DC motor or AC motor. Also, uh, the actuator like hydraulic system or pneumatic system, right? So all these actuators are included in this physical layer component, right? And the sensor are also included in this physical layer component, right? Then this layer is responsible for data collection and action actuation, right? So the main two tasks of this layer is data collection, that is done by sensor, and the second is action execution, that is done by actuators, right? I think you have next unit on sensor, right? So at that time maybe it includes the actuator, then I will show you, right? Okay. Uh, so action execution, sensing, and data collection, right? These are the main tasks of this layer. Then the next one is the processing and control action layer, right? So from name you can understand, right? So processing, so for processing whatever data you collect, to do the processing on that data, right? This device have the component, right? So this layer contains the core component of the IT system, right? Because everything is depends on the processing, everything is depends on the decision making, right? And the decision making is come from the result of the process, right? uh, and in this layer we can say like microcontroller or microprocessor, right? Which are the core component of this layer, right? Because we use microcontroller and the processor for processing, right? Or to make the decision. uh, so here microcontroller will receive the data from sensor, right? So second layer will receive the data from the first layer, right? If we'll talk about the different kind of microcontroller, right? So in market you will find a variety of development kits, right? Such as like Arduino, Raspberry Pi, Node MCU, PIC controller, ARM processor, right? So these all are some development kits, right? So you will find like in the form of the circuit. Maybe all of you are aware of the Arduino, right? Which is widely used, and especially in our education field, right? the students are making their project, microcontroller based project or automation related project, they are using Arduino, right? And some of the students are using Raspberry Pi, right? This Node MCU, or which is basically use the ESP microcontroller, right? So ESP is a, you can say, one kind of forum or a company, right? So these ESP modules, right? All the ESP modules are specially designed for the IoT, right? Because they have inbuilt Wi-Fi. That development board itself have the Wi-Fi, and some of them have the Bluetooth inbuilt, right? Like if you want to use Arduino in IoT application, then Arduino, all the Arduino board doesn't have such kind of communication, Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, right? So you have to add additional some circuit or additional some module, right, for the communication purpose, right? But this Node MCU or ESP modules, right, those have the inbuilt such Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, right? So you can easily do the uh, communication, right? So if time will permit, I will show you the demo, right? I have that boards. I will show you, right? I will not uh, teach you like how you can control, right? So for that you need to do the programming. So if some of you are interested, then you can contact me. I will provide you the code and the circuit, how you need to connect the component, right? All thing I will. Uh, so the microcontroller, or it is also called as a processor, and the operating system plays a vital role in this layer, right? Uh, and uh, at its starting stage, or we can say like when we are in the development state, at that time we use that kind of development kit, right? But when your application is developed and you want to make it like open to market, right? You want to create a business from that, then you need to use some uh, standard microcontroller, right, or standard development kit in which some more security, some more features are there, right? So maybe at that time it, that kind of processor or control need operating system, right? So that operating system is also working this second layer, right? So this basically it's related to the processing the data and how you can control the action, right? So that's why its name is processing and control action layer. Data collected from the sensor is processed in this layer. Then the third layer is hardware interface layer, right? So when you connect some hardware, right, your central device is microcontroller, right? You will connect the you will connect some sensor with the microcontroller, right? You will connect some actuator with the microcontroller, right? So what you are doing, you are connecting the hardware with each other, right? So that connection is known as a interfacing, right? That process is known as a interfacing, and that interfacing or connection is not that much of simpler, like just you connect the single wire, and you can transfer the data, right? Or you will transfer some command, right? From sensor to microcontroller, you want to send the data, right? So that interfacing, they have specific interfacing, like what kind of your sensor is, in which form the data is generated, right? So for that, this third layer will work, right? So for the interfacing, there are some standards are there, right? So those standards are like RS232, then CAN, then SPI, SCI, I2C, right? Then serial communication. So all these kind of are the, we can say, the communication standard, right? And for the particular different standard, you need to connect the hardware or interface the hardware a different way, right? For example, some of these standard, you need only two wire for the communication, right? In some of them you need more than two wire, right? So depends on that communication, right? So that communication standard are involved in this third layer, and this component, this standard, right, they will ensure the flawless communication, right? So you will you can communicate 24/7, right? Or we can say like till you provide the power, right? You can do the communication. Right, so some of standard are transferring the data in serial manner, some are transferring the data in the parallel manner, right? So we will not go in the detail, but for the information purpose, right, the data will be of the serial form or it may be in the parallel form, right? But these are the standard name you just need to remember, right? These are RS-232 is generally we are using in the laptop, right? Where you find a jack which have some, you will find some 3 or 2 line of small hole, right? So that is kind of a RS-232 jack, right? So this is specially for interfacing the hardware, right? And handshaking happen here. So what is meaning by handshake? So for example, you have two different systems. Those two different systems are developed with different architecture. Now you want to transfer the data between the two hardware, right? Then whatever architecture in the first device and the architecture in the second device, right, they will do kind of handshaking, right? So generally most of the architecture have this facility or this feature of handshaking, right? So that handshaking will happen in this layer. And the fourth one is the RF layer, right? So this RF layer is specifically for the, we can say mostly the wireless communication, right? Like you will transferring data from one device to another device wirelessly, right? So for that this layer will work, right? So whenever one talks about the IoT, RF is uh, came in the picture, right? So RF is generally radio frequency, right? So generally for data transmission we are using radio frequency, that's why its name is RF layer, right? So if you talk about uh, Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or NFC near field communication or RFID radio frequency identification system, right? So all these BLE, this BLE is the we can say the latest version of Bluetooth, right? It's low energy, Bluetooth low energy. Its short form is for Bluetooth B, for low L, and for energy E. So BLE is a Bluetooth low energy, right? So this Bluetooth is using very low power, right? So this BLE is latest technology, right? So this BLE is also using radio frequency. Then Wi-Fi, then as I told, Li-Fi, right? So which is used light, kind of light for data transferring. So all these are involved or included in this layer, right? And this also play a major role in the communication, right? But this communication is wireless. Wherever this third layer, right, this hardware interface layer, there is the also for the data communication, but there is the through wire. Okay, so generally this is between sensor and the microcontroller, right? And this is generally when you transfer data from one sensor to another sensor or one controller to another controller, right? Then you will do the data transferring through the wireless, this kind of different protocols, right? The protocol used for the communication and transport of the data based on the RF, right? And these are like Wi-Fi, NFC, RFID, Bluetooth, then Zigbee, right? Zigbee also very popular, right? So in this also we are using radio frequency, right? So these all have like they have some advantages, some disadvantages, right? For example, if we'll talk about the RFID, then the range of the RFID is somewhat very small, right? It's about some meter, 10 meter, right? If we'll talk about the Bluetooth, then it is also in the range of some 10 to 20 meter, right? But if we'll talk about Zigbee, then it can cover more than that area, right? So different protocol have different advantages and disadvantages. Also according to range, the cost is also some of the protocol or some of the module, right, have the higher cost, some have the lower cost, right? So according to your application, for example, your application involving the network of in some 10-meter area, right, the range of the 10-meter area, then there is no need to use like Zigbee or some LoRa kind of LoRa is also one of the latest technology, right? So LoRa kind of technology, right? Because it will increase the cost of your system, right? Do not need that much of range, so no need to use that technology. So right, so these all are for communication, but depends on your application you can use, right? RF layer does the communication of data using radio frequency based electromagnetic wave, right? So it's kind of a radio frequency wave. This layer also include Li-Fi, right, which are effective alternate of RF protocol. So this Li-Fi, as I told, it's use light, right? So light means radio frequency we are not using, but light we are using. But we can include this in the this layer, right? Because it is generally purpose of this Li-Fi is to transfer data through wireless, right? And this layer is for that wireless communication. And then the fifth layer is a session or message layer, right? So like in the computer network, right, we have seen the session layer, right? So see that session management is also important in this IoT application or IoT architecture, right? So for this particular session or message layer, or to do that management of the message, right, we have different protocols, right? And some of these protocols we will discuss in the detail, right? So in that this protocol we will include the MQTT, message queue telemetry transformers protocol, then uh, COP constrained application protocol, then HTTP, right, FTP, SFTP, SSH, right? So these are all are the different protocol, right? Also we can include web server, right, web socket, uh, right? So this HTTP is a hypertext transfer protocol, right? So these are the some example of the protocol which are used in this session layer, right, or message layer. Uh, right, so these protocols will manage how message of data are broadcast to the cloud, or how data will send from one node to the another node, right? This session layer deals with the various messaging protocol, right, as I have told. Then the next layer is the user experience layer, right, the sixth layer. So this layer will deal with the how to provide the best experience to the end user, right, of the IoT product, right? Like whatever application we are developing, right, most of the application is used by the human. So you should make that IoT application, or you will represent that IoT application to end user, right? So for example, I will talk about the home automation. Then home automation, for home automation, I will control all the home appliances, right, wirelessly from anywhere. So the the best way to provide that controlling, like of remote, right, in your mobile, that is the best way, because we will carry mobile everywhere. So if you provide that for home automation, if you provide uh, uh, a separate remote like TV remote, right, definitely it will work, no doubt it will work, but it is not a better idea than to provide it in your mobile, right? So most of the uh, home home automation, right, they will provide the Android or iOS app. So using your mobile you can control the appliance, right? So how you will provide that IoT application to end user, right? So that is the that is deal by this user experience layer, right? uh, so this layer take care of reach UI, right? So user interface, UI means user interface designs with lot of feature which provide a pleasing experience with using the service or system or the product, right? So how your end user will easily use your product, right? So that user interface, how you will design uh, that user interface, right? So that will involve in this layer, right? Because ultimately when you go to the business, right, people will always choose the product which is easy to use, right, which is easy to maintain, which has the minimum uh, maintenance, right? If you provide, for example, separate remote for some particular application, then there is a chance of damage of that remote, right? But people are taking care more of the mobile, so it's better to uh, provide the application in the mobile, right? For example, also we can say like, if people have some 2-3 different application and you will provide 2-3 different remote, then it's difficult to take care of this 2-3 remote. Better to that you just make an Android app and you will install in your mobile. So using single mobile you can use many applications, right, many IoT applications, right? So how you provide, uh, how you represent your IoT application to end user, right? That is very important. Object-oriented programming languages, scripting languages, analytical tool, etc. all should be included in this layer, right? So it is not mentioned, but Android, how you develop Android application, right? Also, like for example, some industrial application, it is better to develop software kind of application, right? Because in some plant, definitely they have the laptop or PC, right? So if you provide that kind of user interface, then it's better to control it, right? And it is also provide security. If you in the plant or in the industry, if you provide that controlling thing in your mobile, then there is a chance like only one person can handle it, right? If you install in your mobile, then only you can control it. Whereas in the company or industry, like depends on the working hours, some shift, right? Different people are doing the same job, so better to provide such interface or such a uh, facility to control the devices which is available to all, right? So depends on the application, you need to develop the user interface, right? And for that, different uh, right, programming language like Java you can also use to create some kind of screen or software. You can use Android app development, right? uh, so this is about the user experience layer, right? And this user experience, this layer, right, is also known as a user experience and visualization layer, right? Because most of the controlling application, right, controlling that facility, right, it will come in the form of the visualization, right? Also for example, I can also say like you will like, if I'll take the example of home automation, then it's better in the application you have just switch. You just place the switch in your mobile, right? You will touch the screen and something will switch on and switch off. In place of that, if you provide like something you need to write, like you need to write on and then press OK. Then if you want to switch off, then you write off and then you press OK. So that thing is hectic, right? So people will prefer like you just provide a switch kind of thing in your application. You just touch it and your switch will off, right? It's easy to use. Better to write the message and then press the OK, right? It's kind of hectic thing. So these all things is all that such kind of things are involved in this user experience layer, right? Then the seventh layer is application layer, right? So in application layer, everything comes to the perfection at this layer, right? So it's kind of like the last layer. Like you can also combine the thing of the sixth and seventh layer, right? These layers utilize the rest 6 layers in order to develop the desired application, right? So it's, you can say like, it's, you can consider as a collaboration of all the layer, or the working of the all the layer task of the all the layer, right? And you will make a single application or a single system, right? It can be ranged from the simple automation application to a smart city application, right? Uh, right. Okay. So it's lastly like how your application look like and everything, right? Uh, this is about the all the layer. Then the next one is enabling technology, right? So as I told, like we with IoT, right? IoT we are implementing in almost every domain, right? Every application domain, right? So because of that, we need to use some of the other technology with the IoT, right? So you can call like IoT is enabling other technology, right? Use of the other technology, right? So in the IoT enablers, we can say like at implementation layer, you will use the IoT at different applications, like you can use it in the hospitals, you can use it at bank, you can use it at your a company or house, you can use it in your vehicle, right? You can use it at some farm related or agricultural related application, then you can use it in your farm, right? You can use in some uh, courier services, right? It's you can say like transportation or the cargo service, right? So depends on the application. It's so in implementation level, you can say like it, it is enabling almost all the domain, right? Then in IoT, definitely we need to transfer the data wirelessly. So at connectivity level, right, it is enabling the enabling the different technologies like Zigbee, RFID, right, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, LoRa, LoPan, Li-Fi, right? So these all are the technology, different technology for communication, and that technology we are using in IoT for transferring the data wirelessly, right? So at connectivity layer, the IoT is enabling this kind of uh, data communication technology, wireless data communication technology, right? If you'll talk about whatever the data collected, and after that you need to store it or you need to process it, right? Then you need to use some cloud computing, you need to use the data analytics, you need to use the big data, you need to use the machine learning or deep learning, you need to use the artificial intelligence algorithms, right? So depends on your application, depends on the amount of the data, right? It is enabling the such kind of technology, right? uh, so cloud computing, big data, then communication protocol that we have seen, right? Also embedded system, right? uh, we must include the embedded system, right? Because we know like whatever data you're collecting, that data is going to processor or microcontroller for the processing, right? So that include the embedded system. Also like how you will connect the electronics devices, right? How you will provide the protection to different sensor, your microcontroller, how you use the power, how you can manage the power. For all these things you need the embedded system knowledge, right? So this embedded system technology also you need to include. Then wireless sensor network, so we already seen that wireless sensor network, right? So in that all the nodes have at least one sensor, right? Whatever the devices are in the network, all are work as a sensor, right? All have the ability to collect the data. Some of the node maybe have more than one sensor, right? They are able to collect different types of data, right? But this wireless sensor network, right, it we can consider as a part of IoT, right? So IoT is enabling that technology also, uh, right? And also wireless sensor network, so sensor, right? So sensor we are using IoT also, uh, right? So we can this enabling technology or devices, right? We can categorize in some of these 3-4 categories. Some of these devices are used for sensing the data or acquiring the data or collecting the data, right? So generally that will call as a sensor type of or sensor technology, right? Sensor is a kind of technology. So that is one category. Also for analyzing or processing data, right? We will use some kind of embedded system or some kind of microcontroller processor, right? So that is also one category, right? Then uh, some technology that helps in the taking control action, right? So that is also a category. Then In the processing data, we can include this big data or data analytics, right? Also the machine learning, deep learning, or artificial intelligence, right, which generally used for processing purpose, right? Some of the technology we are using for enhancing the security or privacy, right? Or if we need to store the data, then we'll use the cloud, right? So, right, sensor, we can say like it's heart of any IoT application, right? You, you cannot find a single application which does not have the sensor, right? So almost all the application have sensor, right? So that is one enabling technology, right? So we'll not go much in the detail. I have inserted some point there, you can read it, right, for more information, right? So here you can see like many type of sensor I have listed, like flow, chemical, gas, acoustic, sound, or humidity, moisture, temperature, right, for velocity, displacement, or motion, for position, right, proximity sensor. For vision, you have some cameras, different types of optical cameras, some night vision cameras, some infrared cameras, right? So you can include all these in the sensors, right? Okay. Then the cloud computing. So we know like the cloud has grown much and more popular nowadays, right? Right. And the cloud, it's what is the main use of cloud? So cloud is serve as an affordable, effective, and efficient medium for data storage. Generally we use cloud for data storage, right? Like for example, you provide some service, some application to users. So whatever data is generated, right, you should have the capability of store that data, process that data, right? So you need that much of powerful processor, right? So if you physically purchase such kind of processor, then it costs too much, right? So the alternative way is used to cloud, right? So for example, some the Google is also providing the cloud, Amazon is also providing the cloud, right? These are the big company which are providing the cloud. So cloud is nothing but they are providing some processing power to you. You have to pay for that, but whatever data you are collecting, that data will directly go to their server, their cloud, right? And they can store forever, right? You will not believe, but Amazon, right? We know the Amazon for like it's e-market, right? It's kind of e-market, like you can purchase the thing from the Amazon, right? But Amazon is also providing the web service, right? Amazon web server, they have the server like if you find their size, then its size is more than the size of the house, right? And they have their server almost at every country, right? So all the and if you give the example, then for example IRCTC or some websites like to you can say like e-commerce sites, like for example this Amazon or sorry Myntra or right, that kind of other, like, apart from Amazon, right? So whatever you are purchasing, whatever your data is storing, right? So all this data they are stored in the cloud, and for that they will purchase the cloud from the Amazon or some Microsoft Azure, right? Microsoft also providing this kind of cloud. So this cloud is the alternative option. Like you do not need the physical hardware, right? You directly transfer the data to the server, and there they will store it. So this data storage plays a major role in IoT, right? And this cloud service are categorized in different ways, like how you are using the cloud, right? Sometimes you just use cloud as a data storage. Sometimes, for example, I don't know you know or not, but some software like MATLAB, right? So MATLAB is a very huge software. So to use that MATLAB, you need some configuration, like that setup file of MATLAB software is about 15 to 16 GB, right? And that is also you are not including all the tools. If you're including all the tools, right, then maybe its size is increased. So sometimes that much of processing power your PC doesn't have. So what MATLAB has started? So MATLAB is the software developed by the company MathWork, right? So the MathWork has started the online MATLAB software. You just need to go to the MathWork website. You just need to the log on, you just need to the login, and once you log in, they will provide you like you can use that software online. You just need the internet. You don't need that much of processing power, right? Whatever you command write, whatever processing will happen, that will happen on their server, their processor. You can just see the result, right? And that kind of facility is provided by almost all the softwares, right? For example, if you talk about some of your software like AutoCAD, right? AutoCAD or some of the such kind of software which used to modeling in the 3D space, right? So such kind of software need a high processing power, right? If you have some code to do your processor, then your PC will hang, right? It will not work. So what they will provide that software online, right? Definitely you need to pay for that. For some day they will provide you the free subscription, right? Or you can use some limited tools online, right? But if you pay, then online you can use that software. No need to install that software in your PC, right, or your laptop. So all such kind of software are using the cloud, right? So cloud you can use for storage, you can use as a software. So based on that, the cloud service are categorized, right? It's categorized as infrastructure as a service, right? It can that is known as a IaaS, right? uh, Somewhere it is used as a platform as a service, PaaS, right? uh, Sometimes it uses a SaaS, software as a service, right? So that I have given the example, right? So this different way you can use the cloud. I will not go in the detail like what is PaaS, what is SaaS, what is IaaS, right? But from the PPT you can get the information, right? I just want to tell you that this cloud computing is used by the IoT, right? And in different way. Then the big data analytics. So the data analytics is generally used to like the data is generated, right? But as we have discussed, like if you have the millions of IoT application, then the data generated by those application will be very huge, right? So whatever data you are getting, right, how you convert out of those data, how you get the exact required information, right? So that is done by this data analytic, right? Whatever data is coming, how you use that data in a uh, good manner, right? So that is done by this data analytic, right? That is this data analytic, what will do, it will arrange the data in proper manner, right? uh, So data is everywhere. From every function or operation we get more data. IoT is almost collecting the data from various sensor node, right? So handling this huge data is a fundamental to make the application successful. Right? And this big data also has some challenges. We will not go in the detail, right? But we will use the data analytic in the IoT applications, right? There are some drawback, or we can say like the challenges in big data analytic, right? But we will not go in the detail. Okay, then embedded computing boards, right? Embedded system. So in embedded system already we have discussed, right? Like in one of the layer, right? Hardware interface layer, we will use such kind of microcontroller, right? So embedded computing boards are very important component to bring IoT design to the reality. For making such prototype, computing boards play a main role, right? Uh, so some of the boards which are available in the market, right, are Raspberry Pi, Arduino, Node MCU, right, Intel Edison. Intel are also making such kind of board. Also, the ST Microelectronics are providing such kind of boards, right? So you'll find different kind of board, and all such kind of board you can use in IoT, right? And the good thing is about this kind of board are very small, that still they are very smart. Their processing power is too good, right? Also the cost of such boards are very less. Like for example, if I talk about Node MCU, then in the market you can get Node MCU just for 300 rupees. Right? So whatever right now the company, the providing the IoT or home automation kind of application to you, they will charge you for some 10 to 12,000, right? But the same thing, you if you want to make it your own, then you need a Node MCU which can control some 8 appliances, right? So you need some wiring, you need some relay, right? Relay board. So almost the cost is about 1,000 rupees, maximum 1,000 rupees, right? Not more than that. But companies charge you some 10 to 12,000, right? So this kind of board are very we can say cheaper, right? So for development purpose, for R&D purpose, you can use it, right? But company is generally not using it because it does not have that much of security and everything. Then the communication protocols, right? That we have seen, like it is used in the one of the layer, right? Uh, so okay. So this communication protocol, right? This all we have listed, right? The MQTT, cellular, then this LoRa, right? Then the Z wave, right? It's a kind of also one protocol, right? Then this Sigfox, this Sigfox, right? Sigfox is recently I have attended one IoT seminar, right? The Reliance Industry, they are also working on the IoT kind of some project, right? So they are using this Sigfox for the communication, Sigfox. So you can search right on this. You can just write this name on Google and you will get the more information, right? So the protocol are the pillar of the good IoT infrastructure, right? And we can say like that's why it's very important in the communication, right? Data exchange happen through this protocol only, right? And this protocol are taking care of some of the tasks like addressing, format of the message, how you are transmitting the message, and the message security, right? They will provide some encryption and decryption, right? For security purpose, this protocol will work, right? Some of these protocol, not all, or we can say like various protocols providing the different security or encryption method, right? Then these protocols are routing the message from uh, uh, source to destination, right? For sender to the receiver. In your network you have many nodes, right? So many nodes, but the data is transferred to particular destination, right? And the routing, the proper path, right? Shortest path is decided by this communication protocol, right? And they will also control the flow of the data, right? Or like it is not happen like at a time a single node is sending the data, right? In your network, in your application, you are using some 2 or 300 nodes, 300 different devices. Then at a time maybe some 100 devices are doing the communication, right? So how you control that flow, that is also done by this protocol. Then if some error will happen, that error monitoring or to resolve that bug, right? This communication protocol will work, right? They will do the sequencing, right? Retransmission, like sometimes the data is not properly received, then they will do the retransmission, right? They will do the segmentation of data packet, right? For example, continuously data is going on, then they will make those data in they will segment, means they will make this data in part wise, and they will make some small packet, and so that easily data can be transmitted. Then the last one, these are the technologies, is user interface, right? That we have seen in the application layer or the sixth layer, right? So as I told, right? So all the devices should have a good user interface, right? Like you can see on the screen, like it's used for it's one application which we can use for home automation. So you can see like on the left hand side you have the a list of like kitchen, living room, dining room, right? Office, kids bedroom, master bedroom, right? And besides that it is showing the temperature, right? By watching, by observing the temperature, you can directly go to the room tab, and you can switch on the AC, or you can switch on the ventilator fan, right? Also, you can see in the bottom it has the options like fan, cool, right? On the right side it is showing like right now if you click on the living room, then it is showing the living temperature, right? Upper that you can see like whatever device is on, it is showing that notification like heater is on, right? So such kind of user interface, right? This technology, right? It's a kind of Android app development, right? Or iOS app development. So this technology is enabled by the IoT, right? The IoT device service should be designed in such a way that accessing and handling the service are easier and comfortable for the end user, right? Generally, you end users shall be provided the mobile application or web application, right? So generally, almost all the IoT application, right, for controlling purpose or monitoring purpose, they will provide some mobile app or some web application, right, or some software kind of thing. Uh, right? This application should be stable and elegant, right? Okay. So this is about the enabling technology. Then the IoT challenges, right? So as we know, like uh, IoT we can use in each and every domain, right? Using IoT, we can make tasks very easier. We can add the automation in some functionality, right? But and nowadays these IoT are widely used, right? In everywhere we are implementing, we are adding more and more IoT in different applications, right? But still, it's growing field. It has so many challenges, right? So in that challenges, we can include the securities, the scalability, the energy efficiency, bandwidth management, modeling and analysis, interfacing, interoperability, data storage, data analytics, then complexity management, right? Uh, like SDN, software defined network, right? So let's discuss these all one by one, right? Uh, so first challenge is about the security or privacy, right? So hello, hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Sir, time खत्म हो गया.
Okay, okay. So you have lecture.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, fine. We'll stop here. I will share the link in the chat box. You just fill it. Okay, you can leave. No problem.